One. Good evening and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm your host, Doug Engler. Joining me in the co-host seat, as always, is our good friend, Mr. Darren Starling.
Yeah, no.
And as you can see, I finally was not lazy this week and brought the tripod in so I could set up the camera. I am still down here in Georgia, in McDonough, Georgia, for training for my new job. Our guest tonight is going to be Pop Cult Anime Con. They will be joining us in just a few moments, getting everything situated with links and stuff like that. Angela may or may not join us. She's been having issues with her computer for the last few days. She was here and then had the computer shut down, so I'm not sure if she'll be back or not. But we want to remind everybody that Anime-Zing Radio is brought to you is brought to you tonight by Home Circle Media for the latest and greatest in anime gear. Everything from pens, pencils, stationery, and officially licensed art books. Be sure to check out homecirclemedia.com today or look for them at an upcoming convention near you. We're also brought to you by Casey Fox. For all of your artwork, cosplay, and photography needs, be sure to check out Casey Fox on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We're also brought to you by Triple S Lawn Care. If you're in the Raleigh, North Carolina area and you need your lawn taken care of, be sure to reach out to Triple S Lawn Care. I'm sure Darren would love to talk with you and take care of your lawn for you.
Yeah. And if you have time, maybe you can join me one day. And we can service it together and maybe spread some anime themed service. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that one.
No idea. Hello to John Knight, Ross Luck. Hello to all the wonderful people out there who are tuning in. Hello, welcome back to Angela.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. My computer is having technical difficulties, so
we should be joined by our guest shortly. I did shoot them an email with the link. So I think I'm just waiting on them to send us to click the link and join us.
Hi, John. How you doing?
And I know it's been kind of a crazy week for all of us. I haven't done a whole lot this week outside of studying. Like I said, I am down in Georgia training for my new job, working for the Norfolk Southern Railroad, which things have been crazy.
Pause for technical difficulties. He is not wrong. Not tonight, anyway.
And so the setup around me is a little bit different. If you noticed, I am in my hotel room. In the craziness of packing for a 3-week trip down to Georgia and also packing a house to move, you can see over my shoulder here that we brought Syrup with us. So Syrup is hanging out on the bed to be on camera in the distance.
As opposed to ball of fluff.
Yeah. No cats while here, so thank you, John. Are you in the Atlanta area, John? All right. Yes, Hemlock, I can send that again for you. Gotta love technical difficulties and the wonders of the internet.
Come on. You literally wanted me to open you just to waste time.
I've been told I need
And let's see if that works.
Now you got a song stuck in my head, Angela. Thank you.
We're off to a wonderful start. It's great when we're all located everywhere and there's so much going on. I did send the link, Hemlock, again via email, so hopefully you get that.
Okay.
But I will start off by saying that I have been keeping up with the vending machine isekai.
Oh, of course you have.
And as I said, I wanted to watch this for the sole reason that I expect it to be crap and I want to make fun of it. The worst part is I've been enjoying it. It actually hasn't been as bad as I was hoping it was going to be.
As usual.
Doug, Hemlock in the chat, did you get the message they just sent you
I
a few minutes ago?
I did get the message, and I had sent a reply back. And then I just sent another message.
Now, you know what? We're just going to do this. Ignore the fact that I had it on the shelf. You know, it's no shit back here.
And I do apologize for the little bit of craziness due to the fact that I am not on my normal computer. I'm on the laptop in Georgia. Apparently, I'm the devil. I went down to Georgia.
But did you find your soul to steal?
Yeah, I picked that up in North Carolina on the way down.
Have you seen the Boston sports the Boston parody of that?
No, I have not.
The devil went down to Boston?
The devil went up to Boston.
Oh, Lord.
Of course, they had to do something about that. Now, Darren, I know you said you've been busy, have not been able to watch anything new from the summer season.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you had a bit of a busy week as well, Ange. A question for Darren, since this up his alley. I can only choose one DVD series that at a low price on the Right Stuff birthday, but there are 4 choices. Which one should I get?
You said there's 4 choices?
Yeah. Ross, let us know what those 4 choices are. And we have Hemlock from Pop Cult joining us. Hello. Welcome to the show. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, sorry. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
The craziness of the early show, especially when on location in another state.
Yes. No, Google, I have so many emails and they're all supposed to go to one email, and forwarding thought you were spam.
We
So
are
I
spam.
had to log out and log into my other email and find you from spam. So thankfully I am here.
Yay!
Yay!
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know you were on with us not that long ago talking about Pop Cult, and you had a event that happened recently.
Yes, we were at the Street Fighter tournament that was being held by Games Underground in Waltham, Massachusetts. So it was a lot of fun.
And how did that go?
It was very wet. Thankfully, it stopped raining just long enough for them to bring in this giant screen, which was on a trailer, and it was the most craziest thing I've ever seen. It literally unfolded and then rose up. It was so cool, and they were able to stream what was going on inside the arcade, outside to the street. We were set up on the street under a tent, thankfully. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. We didn't have too many people dressed up. The rain, unfortunately, costumes and rain doesn't always mix well. But we had enough participants that, we were able to hand out all those really cool Street Fighter plaques that we had and got free ice cream. And yeah, it was fun. We did sand art with people.
Awesome. Glad that you were able to still have the event. I know that there's been a lot of bad weather over the past few weeks.
Rain.
Today we had tornado warnings.
Yes, it's been crazy. But thankfully, Games Underground is an inside arcade, so they had to bring obviously the gaming inside. But they had plenty of tents on the street, so it was pretty nice.
Awesome. And the show may seem like it's a little bit off tonight because of Angela's been having some technical issues with her computer. Plus, it's been a long week. I have done nothing but study and be in classes since I got down to Georgia last weekend. So, been trying to keep up with everything while trying to cram as much information for a new job as I can.
That's right. You were doing your move.
Yeah, in fact, this weekend, my wife and a friend of ours got everything into the new apartment in Pennsylvania, while I am down in McDonough, Georgia, training to be a conductor for the Norfolk Southern Railroad.
That is cool. That's so cool, though, that you got to like do your dream job.
Oh yeah, and I was smart about the drive down. I split it up last weekend. Spent Saturday night at Darren's house. Actually, finally got to meet Darren face to face for the first time.
Darren has a face.
Yes, don't worry. You weren't the only one surprised by that.
Contrary to popular belief, yes, and I saw proof. I saw proof of this.
And I was under strict order from Angela that one day I meet Darren face to face. We have to have a photo together.
So they took a selfie together and sent it to me.
Proof that Darren isn't just a ghost in the web, or
he's not a
disembodied.
AI.
Yeah, he's not a disembodied voice talking to us from distance past.
Well, I mean, given the guy on screen right now, his ability is all fiction. So he can make anything not reality. So it kind of works.
I don't.
Now, Pop Cult is coming up next month, right? If I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah, I have so much to tell you. Like, we have announced all the guests. I have prize ribbons to share. I even have snacks. Like, oh, camera. Oh my god, I'm like the worst at this.
Boba milk tea mochi. Oh my gosh, that's huge.
This was a find at TJ Maxx, like randomly. I mean, and like tons of these little things. I've like eaten so many already. I love mochi. And I like boba tea as well. So that was like a perfect storm of snacks. So
mochi is in fact delicious.
It is. It's like an underrated snack, and it's slowly infiltrating the American market. Like you can get mochi ice cream now, like at Walmart.
I have mochi ice cream in my freezer.
Yeah, it is rice paste, like glutinous rice paste. Who knew?
Except fun fact, mochi flour is gluten free.
Well, yes, because gluten is in wheat and it's made from rice.
That's one of those things. But
I love the little My Mochi boxes. I'd get them when they were on sale. You usually get like the chocolate or the mint chocolate chip or cookies and cream
and it's funny, taiyaki, a Japanese dessert treat, made its way to Boston, and we actually got some last night.
Oh, sweet.
That is good.
What was that, Darren?
I was about to say that was something you saw all the time with To Love Rue because of Yami. She was constantly snacking on it every time she got a chance to.
Yep.
I'm just so happy that it's become more mainstream because I remember, back in the day, you have to go to like one of the random anime stores that we had in Harvard Square in Boston to like get the Ramune and get the random snacks. And now that's just everywhere, right? You can get a snack box from Japan if you want.
There's multiple subscription box services depending on what you like.
And if you want, feel free to sponsor us, and we'd love to promote you on the show.
Right? Sponsor Anime-Zing, right? It's worth it.
There's all the, not even more than just the Japanese YouTubers we follow are being sponsored by those subscription boxes now. But
That's the one thing I will say that I kind of wish we could find a way around. Unfortunately, with the contract that we have with the hotel, we can't do food, so we can't have like a food snack vendor. Otherwise, I'd love to like have somebody in at Pop Cult that could like sell Ramune and snacks and stuff like that. They have them at some of the other smaller conventions, but I don't know what kind of contract deal they happen to have with our hotels. So we might look into it someday, but for now, thankfully, there's like a market basket close by, and I'm sure they could get snacks and stuff there as well. So someday.
That reminds me, at Anime-Zing this year, they actually had a booth dedicated to selling snacks of all kinds from Japan.
Well, we had one of those actually up at Rail City too. A couple tables down from us and Christie was a booth that sells Japanese snacks.
Yeah, I suppose that's one of the things I've gotten so used to living in a city with so much easy access to things is that mainstream popularity of Asian food markets where I could literally just go to a store and buy a lot of what I wanted.
Yep.
And
To answer your question, John, I think it was Heat Guy J that I really enjoyed dubbed. I really don't watch a lot of dubbed anime. I like to read the subtitles, but I think it was Heat Guy J. I really did enjoy the dub. That's like an old school anime. It's been out for a while, but yeah, we had this discussion last time. Sub versus dubbed. But of the few dubbed animes I watched, I like Heat Guy J. Sayuki as well, the first season. The first season only. To make that perfectly clear. But yeah, that's, again, don't watch a whole lot dubbed. I don't know why, I just never got into it.
I watch both. As I've said many a times, it's not uncommon for me to watch a series subtitled and then go back and watch it dubbed. And a lot of times I do that for searching for voice acting guests for the show, see what the differences are, because we have an audience that enjoys both sides, and I like to be informed and have an honest, educated opinion of one case over the other.
I think for me it 100% depends on the casting. I had an experience back in the early 2000s with a dub where one specific voice just ruined the entire thing for me, and I had to, after that disc, I had to go back and watch the entire thing subtitled just to enjoy the show.
Yeah, it's difficult too if they recast from season to season, but yeah.
No, that being said, now we were watching it from a box set on DVD, but but because it was somebody's 21st birthday, we popped in that particular disc dubbed, because we were drinking and reading subtitles with copious amounts of alcohol. Not the best of bright ideas. But I had to go back and watch the rest of it dubbed. There are some dubs that are perfect, that are honestly really good. There are some that are fine.
One of them that's really good, that's getting a second season, Panty and Stocking. I'm excited about that.
That's funny, because Panty and Stocking, I never think of it as an actual anime. I think of it more of as an American cartoon. I don't know why.
Because it got most of its popularity because of the English adaptation to it, because the Japanese learned a lot of new swear words, and you can hear the stories from some of the voice actors from it where they made stuff up in that.
Mm-hmm.
And,
since we got kind of a weird start too, I have to ask you, can you hear the fan going in the background? Should I shut it off?
Nope.
I don't know if having the headphone helps or not.
What I hear is my own air conditioning going.
I shut the fan. I shut the AC off in the room here just for that reason. I can't. If you hadn't pointed it out, I probably never would have noticed. So I say leave it on. No sense in that. No sense in overheating
It is so unbearably hot out here. It's not funny. I'm sure you guys are even worse off since I'm pretty north. So
I'm sitting at about 87, 88. It's going to be 94 tomorrow, 95 Tuesday and Wednesday down here. And I
it's
get to
too
play
hot.
outside.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting at 81 with a real feel of 90.
Yeah. I have 70, but it's like raining, so it's really humid, or at least it feels humid. So
Yeah.
it was
Yep.
obviously higher earlier, but now that it's like the sun's gone down, it's starting to cool off a little bit.
It was raining and stupid humid today.
And HH, everybody's got to be a comedian.
Cute.
I had to put that up there, HH. Give you some credit because that was good.
That was
Dad jokes. Yay. Anyway, so I have a bunch of stuff to share if you want to jump right in.
Of course.
absolutely.
All right. So let me switch screens. All right. So we've finally announced all our guests. And I can't remember if I was able to bring up anybody last time I was on because
I
we're
think you were
signing
still
contracts.
finalizing.
Yeah, we're in the middle of contracts and everything. But all right, so we call everybody our local legends because, as we had discussed before, we actually don't bring in industry people. We just go ahead and just bring in like fan people that are from the fandom, from the local community. So, and you actually might have heard of these people. It's H&S Cosplay, the twins, Hitaki
and Sarah.
Sahara.
Yes.
Yay.
So yes, we were very excited. We had been searching for some male cosplayers to kind of get a different perspective to our audience, to our attendees.
Oh, they're amazing guys.
Yeah. We kind of started calling them the science twins. That's like their unofficial like nickname. We get our code name for them. So yeah, so we were very impressed with their resume and everything when they reached out to us when we were looking for people. And again, we were very excited to have some male cosplayers come in and do panels with us. They're going to do 6 panels over the course of the weekend. So we're very excited. Yep. So again, I'm looking forward to all the information that they'll have to share with everybody, which is going to be great. And then, of course, we actually have a big group this year. They go by the name Weeb Palace, and that is WEEB Palace. And there's 6 of them. And they're our featured panelist group. So they're actually going to be doing 8 panels for us. And the group itself has changed people a few times over the course of the years, but they've started back in 2009. So they've been going to anime cons for a little while now. And they had actually quite a few panels for us to choose from. So we were very excited. And they had kind of just been coming to Pop Cult anyway. They had been sort of going through the regular fan panel submission process, and we'd always like picked a few of their panels, so they had already been coming to Pop Cult. And we were like, you know what, you do really good panels already. We really want to recognize you, for your contribution to our community. Let's upgrade you to a featured panelist spot, so then we can like give you some perks, list you on the website as our featured panelists, local legends. So there's like, again, it's a big group. So there's like 6 of them. So we're really excited for them to come, and they're going to do a bunch of different panels, which is going to be a lot of fun. They have some good ones as well. They actually do the anime openings that slap. So that's a pretty popular panel that they've done a couple of times. So we're definitely going to have them do that as well. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then kind of out of the blue, and this might or might not be a name you're familiar with, depending on if you're going to conventions in the New England area, but you might have heard of a little band called the Leet Street Boys and Matt Myers. So apparently he started a while ago, and it's around his 10th year anniversary of like doing anime performances and doing music and stuff like that. And he reached out to us. It was like, hey, it's going to be my anniversary coming up. Can I come to your convention? He happens to know people on staff. Can I come to your convention? Can I play some music? Just kind of want to like, go to a convention and just kind of do my thing and kind of touch base with the community, I guess. He hasn't been going to conventions for a little while now. He's been mostly composing music. So it'll be nice. He's going to play the piano for us for our formal dance. And
that's awesome.
yes. And then he's going to, so that'll be Sunday night. We'll have the formal and technically a concert. And then during the masquerade judging intermission, he'll do like a 20-minute set on Saturday.
Oh, awesome.
So we're pretty excited about that. We don't really intend to have a musical guest. It just works out that way. So, because usually we go for like a cosplay guest, but we ended up with a musical guest anyway. We had like a musical guest last year as well. But yeah, it's really exciting that, Matt's kind of come back into the community for a little bit, be able to reach out to people. He's also going to do a couple panels as well about anime music and things like that and composing and stuff. So we're really excited about that. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yep. And then, of course, we have our regular, we refer to them as our local legends as well, but they're kind of almost staff at this point. We have our staff artist, which is Luke Beatrice, who does all our fabulous art now, and he is going to have a table in the artist alley, so you'll be able to like check out his art and his work. He's been doing all the little comics. In fact, our second one came out about our mascot's little adventure on their little isekai adventure. Sorry, my cat has decided to join us. Are you going to say hi? Can you get on camera? Yeah.
Kitty.
Nope, don't you go on those. Sorry. She like kind of crawled into my lap, and I'm like sitting here. I'm like, I should probably explain why my arm is petting my cat. Anyway, so we have our artist on here. This is all, by the way, if you want the further details, this is all on our website as well, at popcultanimecon.com. We have Roland the Traveler, who's going to be our DJ this year. Suzumi Paradise, who runs our Idol festival.
They were a lot of fun. We've had them on the show too. Met them actually at Anime-Zing last year and had them on the show. I don't have my notebook with the schedule on it with me, but I think they were back in like January. We had them on the show.
That's great. No, they're awesome. This is actually going to be their 6th year running our Idol festival. So pretty much they started it and they've been running it the whole time. So, which has been really great. And we usually have like a big, full Idol contest. I think they have closed the submissions already, but I believe we're going to have like a full 2-hour show on Sunday. With all the people. Yeah, no, we get a lot of groups that come. I think part of the reason why we get so many people is that it's not a contest. It's an idol showcase. So there's no pressure. You can go out, you're going to go out, you have your costumes, whether you made them or bought them, that's fine. It doesn't matter. And you just go out and show off your dance moves and, maybe have a little skit or something. So it's just a lot of fun. We kind of make something up for everybody who participates, so they kind of have like a little memento of being involved. And yeah, it's just supposed to be kind of a fun thing that people can be involved with. And then, of course, we invite everyone who just loves idols anyway to like grab their light sticks and come and and just enjoy everybody having fun. So.
And question from Ross in the chat says, is Pop Cult all about pop culture like a Comic-Con?
We're pop cult anime. So we do everything, multi-genre, but we're more coming from how anime conventions are run versus Comic-Con, because I do think they're very distinct. So even though we're a multi-genre convention, we're run like an anime convention. So, but everybody, of course, is welcome to come, because again, we have tabletop and all kinds of video gaming and stuff. So we have everything.
I would argue the closer comparison would be something more like Dragon Con, but on a much, much smaller localized scale.
And John Knight in the chat also asked, what's your favorite thing about Pop Cult Anime Con?
That's
a
hard.
touchy thing to ask the chairperson.
Well, I like it because we have so many different things, but I will have to say that I think I like the blanket fort building the best, and not just because I'm going to bring it back and be running it myself this year. But no, I like the fact that we do wonderful, things that people can participate in, like the idol showcase and stuff like that. But I do enjoy the blanket fort building myself a lot. And then of course, we're doing the ball jointed doll stuff again this year. We have lots of little bits and things for just about everybody. And again, it is my convention. There's a lot of things that I like. I will let you in on one little secret though. There is one thing I actually don't like at conventions.
Lines.
Karaoke. I actually don't like karaoke. I don't sing well, and I don't like listening to other people not sing well.
That's understandable.
And I feel bad because I get that there's a lot of people that enjoy it. So we do have karaoke, and we have had karaoke in the past, though we're still waiting this year again for safety reasons, but we'll bring it back next year. But me personally, I don't like to sing in front of other people. I love to sing along with the radio and stuff like that, but not in front of other people. So it always makes me embarrassed. So
No, that's one of those. I am right there with you on that.
But that doesn't mean I'm gonna, be a party pooper and say no karaoke. No, I'm just not gonna participate.
Exactly.
I haven't done karaoke in years. I used to do it all the time, and I actually have a couple of songs that we used to play on another show that I was the co-host of a long time ago. I don't know if Scott ever sent you those files or not, Ange, but
I have a couple, but I'm not. Karaoke was just never my thing, and I don't enjoy singing. I'm not good at it. Therefore, I just kind of, if my friend said that's what they're doing, I just kind of go, yep, you guys have fun with that. I'm going home.
Yeah, and it's funny because I know some really great singers, like people that are really very, very good at it. It's just myself, I always don't like it. So while I love every other aspect of the convention, I'm not too crazy about karaoke.
I won't read that out loud, Ross, but I did have to share that.
All I'm going to say is that was me. I was the big sister.
So did I get all their guests? I think I got everybody, right?
Maybe.
I think so. It sounds like you've got some amazing guests. A couple of them have been guests here on the show. Hidaki and Sahara are regulars. They've been on with us. It's got to be like 15, 20 times.
Yep. Oh, there's still a few other people that we haven't got their information up. Obviously, Misa on Wheels will be joining us again. She's technically our mascot. So she was very nice to let us base our main mascot, Summer, on her. So she usually comes to the convention. She'll host a couple panels. She's the guest mascot judge at the masquerade.
And she is a total sweetheart. One of the nicest people you will ever meet.
We've got to get her on the show, too. I keep forgetting to reach out to her just because of life, the universe, everything else.
Yes, it's actually... if you had time before the end of the month, because it is Disability Awareness Month, I believe. And she's a big advocate, especially in the fandom spaces. In fact, she's an avid concert goer, and if you haven't seen the pictures of her crowd surfing in her chair, it's like amazing. So that's something you might definitely want to talk to her about at some point, because
don't know.
I have her on Facebook. Let me reach out to her.
like Misa on Wheels.
Yeah.
She has her personal account as well, but her fandom account is Misa on Wheels. So
That's what I have. I don't know her very personally. I've talked with her a few times at conventions in the past, seen her at Anime Boston, Anime, a lot of the New England area conventions.
But
yeah, definitely a great guest to have on. Especially, like I said, she's an advocate, is a pretty good advocate. So, and then of course Carol, who is doing our miniature painting as well. We have to get. She's Muse's Touch. She's a professional model painter, and she's affiliated with Reaper Miniatures. So she was actually at PortCon Maine as well. She goes to AAC. Several other conventions, gaming conventions, of course. And she's going to be back again for the second year in a row, and she'll be doing our miniature paint and take room, which is going to be next to our tabletop room. So we're pretty excited to have that. In fact, I actually have a whole thing. One of our amazing staffers donated a bunch of like really great Reaper miniatures, and I have like a whole host of like really cool miniatures that we're going to have for people to like paint and different things like this for anyone who's into that, or even if you're not, if you just want to stop by and like have some fun little things. So these are just samples, of course. I happen to pick some of the more impressive ones. I actually might paint this one myself. It's this cute little, if I can get him up there, it's this cute little dwarven why is the
You can kind of see.
yeah, I know my lighting is awful, sorry.
Better than Darren's lighting. He's just all black and red.
I even have this little shopkeeper in his little apron. He's a tavern barkeep. He's cleaning
Cool.
He's cleaning a glass. It's pretty fun.
Seeing stuff like that brings me back to my model railroading days.
People are into miniatures, like, I mean, doll houses, miniature train sets, all kinds of things. So D&D.
I will say at PAX Unplugged, the first thing to fill up almost immediately is the painting miniatures things.
So yeah, no, it's thankfully Reaper has these kits that you can buy, which makes it super affordable for events like mine to be able to, get these kits and bring them to the convention. And then Carol also provides like brushes and paint and things like that as well. So we're able to offer it to everybody at no cost, which is really nice. It's just kind of built into the price of your ticket. So which is a lot of fun. And then we also have our artist cafe as well back this year, which is run by one lovely Sin, who is our original convention artist, who I've worked with for a very long time. She used to do the button art for me when I sold buttons back in Artist Alley's like over a decade ago. So she comes in and she basically takes over a whole room, and they just do arts and crafts with everybody. It's a lot of fun, and she'll have like things people can make, like stickers and keychains and buttons and stuff like that, or they can just sit and draw and talk. So that's kind of a special thing that I don't think any other convention does. Just kind of like have an artist hangout for people as well. So
That is really cool.
Yeah, we try to kind of reach out and get the niche groups that maybe don't have a big enough following in the area, so that they have like their own, convention. Like with the ball jointed dolls, we don't really have a ball jointed doll convention, so we try to have some ball jointed doll programming. The furries are next. We get some furries at Pop Cult, and I see you, and I want to do some stuff for the furries. So I'm going to look into that for next year and see what kind of programming we can bring in for our furry friends.
There is a fursuit group in Vermont that you could reach out to as well, like because I've seen them at a lot of the Vermont conventions over the last couple of years since we did a lot of shows up there.
And I do know there is a furry convention in New England. I don't know if it is in the same location every year or rotates around various sites.
Like I know they've had like Rainforest. I've heard of Rainforest. I always thought that was more in the Midwest area.
Anthrocon New England is
it?
This is I don't know if it came back post 2020 yet. But that said, a previous roommate of mine used to go pretty regularly.
Yeah.
But one idea, I do know that there have been panels at various conventions, basically a how to make the ears, the tail, things of that nature.
Yeah. No, I think it's something where we have, especially, when we went to PortCon, Maine, there was quite a few fursuiters there. And there are definitely fursuiters that come to Pop Cult. So I just like to, have some programming and reach out to that community, because as much as I've enjoyed the Redwall series with Brian Jacks and like the art and stuff like that, I've never been a fursuiter, so I don't know exactly, what kind of programming they would enjoy. So I'm going to do some research and reach out to that community, but I definitely would like to get some programming for them, especially how to survive a summer when you're at a convention, because the heat, it's got to be the worst.
I'm not gonna lie, you do have two fursuiters who already have 6 panels and could probably help talk about that with Hitaki and Sahara, because they have done fursuits.
I haven't actually sat down. I don't know if we have a list yet of what they're going to do. We just are going to start doing our schedule. So we get to pick which panels. So that's a good point. I'll see if they have some fursuiting panels we can use. Though I think John also has another random question about what got me into anime.
Yes.
Sailor Moon. So actually it was Ronin Warriors. Or Samurai Troopers, I guess is the actual name. But I remember being 14 and going to my aunt's house in Connecticut where she had cable. And they randomly had Ronin Warriors on. And I was at the right age. It was the right kind of anime with all the pretty boys. And I was just fascinated. And then, of course, I went back to my home in Maine where we don't have cable. And I was like, what is this anime stuff? There must be somebody else in my high school that knows anime. And I did make a friend who liked Sailor Moon. So that kind of got me into the anime stuff. And then, of course, I really got sucked in when I was in college, and I actually was in Boston, and there was actual anime stores and places you could go, and Toonami and all that stuff was kind of starting. And, pretty much is just you get hooked and then you seek it out, and then suddenly a whole new world opens up. So, and of course, I was just inclined to like that kind of stuff. I liked comic books and sci-fi and, Star Trek and all that stuff anyway. So.
And now you have your own convention.
And now I have my own convention. So I was always been an event planner. I like planning events. And of course I have a theater degree. So that, running a show, doing the tech side of stuff and costuming has always been, right up my alley anyway. So it just kind of all came together like a perfect storm. So, and yeah, I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing, Pop Cult grow and stabilizing, and hopefully being a 2,000 to 3,000 people show. And as you can see, I call it a show. That's my theater kid speak breaking in, because I can't call it a convention. I'm like, it's a show. I put on a show.
I'm hoping that once I am, been with my new job for a while and actually have some seniority and can figure out time off, I would love to be able to bring AZR to Pop Cult to do what we do at conventions. We love setting up a table. We love doing panels. We love live streaming from the conventions to show off what's happening to our audience.
And I would love to give out press passes. So please make some time. Yes.
Unfortunately, this year, for obvious reasons, it's not going to happen with the move. And
I sadly will. That is literally
isn't that travel
24
time?
It is 24 to 48 hours after I return. So I think I will be. I might not be readjusted to East Coast time, and probably jet lagged.
No, that's fine. I mean, hey, even if it's 2024.
2024, I can definitely plan for. 2023, I realize is literally right after I come back from Europe.
Do you go to Europe every year, or is this just like a one-time thing?
No, this is the every summer in August, my in-laws, all 6 of us, go on vacation. This year is the year we happen to be leaving the country. If it was just a trip within the US, I'd come back. I would definitely make it out, but I don't know that I will be. But given the time changes, I'll probably be way too jet lagged and not functional enough to get up there.
And Darren is dead, so
Yep.
what did happen to?
It's not so much that I'm dead as it is that this time of year is incredibly difficult to get away from my work, because if I'm gone for a day or two, I'm behind the whole week.
Do you even get vacation?
Running your own business, you don't have vacation.
All right, relatable.
And HH in the chat is commenting, it's odd how often Toonami gets mentioned whenever anyone speaks about anime's influence their current position in life.
Well, that was it, right? That's like
I feel like I am the only one from that generation that never watched Toonami, that I found anime completely in a completely different way.
That's interesting.
And
Yeah, I mean, I had limited access to Toonami, mostly because it was a cable thing, being on the Cartoon Network. But yeah, it was definitely a source.
Now, was that different from Adult Swim? Or is that what Adult Swim became?
Toonami became Adult Swim.
Toonami became adult? Because I knew of Adult Swim. I didn't know of Toonami.
Adult Swim was more of the adult, like PG, non-PG stuff.
Or was it Toonami was during the day and Adult Swim was at night?
I believe that's what it was, because I saw very little of either.
I didn't either. I mean,
I just knew, like, the shows I watched started about 10 p.m. 10:30 was Witch Hunter Robin. 11 was Inuyasha. Fooly Cooly was after that, and that's when I really started getting introduced to anime. Was Adult Swim, not Toonami.
Because I believe the only Adult Swim thing I saw was Metalocalypse.
Yeah, because Adult Swim had more than just Japanese animation, though. But Toonami was specifically for Japanese animation.
And John Knight in the chat is saying Adult Swim took over Toonami.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some parents complained because some of those, like Fooly Cooly and stuff like that, that's like more mature type anime. So not necessarily something you'd want, on at noon on Cartoon Network or whatever.
Oh, come on. It was a little bit on the bizarre part. I mean, maybe some of the kids would be less messed up if they were watching that.
I mean, look at what 90s Cartoon Network actually brought us. Just saying.
And Ross is saying Case Closed was on at 3 a.m, and that's how they found anime.
Couldn't sleep one night and just was like, let's turn on the TV.
My first introduction to anime was a friend in high school who worked at Ghost. And then I got introduced to a completely different set of anime in college. and completely missed the Toonami Adult Swim window.
Yeah, I didn't like. I knew it. I didn't watch a whole lot of Toonami. What was Gundam Wing on? That was a big one when I was in college, or at least that I was really enjoyed. Love Gundams, giant robots.
Gundam, I ended up watching on borrowing somebody's DVD box set.
Yeah. Oh my god, I had Gundam Wing on VHS.
VHS.
Oh no, my power's flickering.
Oh no.
Up there, y'all storms that bad? Or is it raining or what?
It's been raining, but I also live in the middle of the woods. So if a tree branch falls and hits the power line just right, we can get knocked out. But we'll knock on wood. We'll knock on wood.
I've seen and heard plenty of transformers blow over here, so.
Yeah, it's not so much that my laptop will go out because I have battery. It's that I'll lose internet and I would have to hotspot, which I could do. I would just lose connection and I'd have to like get back on in a minute. So
I do know that the NASCAR race in New Hampshire was postponed till tomorrow because of the weather and everything too. So there's been some major storms going on up there.
It's it was far. Massachusetts was just heavy rains, at least my part, but it was definitely really bad closer to the border, or so I've been told.
Well, I mean, Vermont's been getting historic flooding. We've had a flood watch out here. I live in a swamp now.
Greater Lowell had some flooding, or had flood warnings and whatnot all day.
Yeah, I used to live in Revere down by the beach, and they used to get flooding like all the time. It was awful. Like if I had a really bad rainstorm, I lived on a slope lot, and like rain would just pour out through my basement and garage. It's just, I don't know, it will not stop.
Well, it sounds like you've got some awesome stuff lined up for Pop Cult this year. So anybody out there, if you're in the New England area, you've definitely got to go check out Pop Cult because they've got some really awesome programming that they've talked about. I mean, Hatake Sahara, Misa on Wheels, Suzume Paradise. Just there's reason enough alone to go.
I've been in the past. It is can confirm it is fantastic. And how much of in the past, I know there were traditionally a lot of the game shows. How much of that is coming back?
Oh my God. They're going to do a roast of Matt McKenna on Friday night.
Yes. I wish I was there for that.
They come back stronger than ever. They're trying out. I have a really great team that likes to run game shows. So they're going to bring back all the greats, obviously the dating game, the death match, stuff like that. Whose line is it? Then they're also doing a bunch of like little shows that they're going to try, like Jackbox and other different things. They're going to roast McKenna on Friday. So if you're pre-reg, make sure you go to that. So we have a lot of game shows. They're gonna, like I said, they like to change it up from year to year. So they'll come in and they'll try different little things. I bought them a spinny wheel for some reason. And they actually had me order some prizes from Amazon Prime. So I take advantage of the sales. So I've got like some really great prizes for them to give out this year. So they're going to be doing a lot of fun things. And we've heard all the feedback, like the 18+ dating game and all that stuff will be in main events. There will be enough seating for everyone because we're going to move it into main events. Unfortunately, that did mean Saturday night's dance kind of didn't go away entirely, but it kind of shortened down to like a very late night pajama party that we're going to have in the lobby. So, because the 18+ dating game goes usually until midnight on Saturday, and then normally the dance would go until 1 a.m. So we're going to take that, whenever the dating game ends, we're gonna like take over the hotel lobby, get the boombox out, the ghetto blaster, and we're just gonna play some favorites for at least an hour or so. I'll be doing blanket fort building that night, so we'll have a big blanket fort for anyone who's 18 and under or not interested in the dating game. So, we'll have a lot of fun things to do that night as well. So, but yeah, I'm actually. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, do you guys do charity auctions as well, or?
We've attempted to do some charity stuff in the past. We just aren't. We don't get a very big draw yet, so we haven't had the opportunity to do anything yet. We've reached out to a couple groups in the area, so we've been trying to work together with some groups to see about just bringing them in and giving them a table. So we haven't been able to do anything for this year, but we've been looking into a couple of groups for like next year. Shoot, is it Second Life? I forget which there's the video game one.
Extra Life.
Extra Life. Yes, sorry.
I know one of the people kind of in charge of the Boston chapter.
Yes, so we've been again trying to reach out and get some of the groups to come. I'd actually rather like to have them come and be able to set up a table and like share their information and stuff like that. Because I think with charity auctions, it works if you have enough people coming, and we're not quite at those numbers yet. I know PortCon Maine usually has about 3,000 plus people, and they do a charity auction, and they do, pretty well. Obviously, Anime Boston, I think, still has their charity auction. They do pretty well, but they're like a huge con. So
I had to stop going to that. I spent too much money.
So yeah, so it's not, we haven't reached that level yet, but it's not something we've just said no to. It's just not yet. So we'll get there eventually.
And one of the reasons I ask, I love going to the charity auctions. A, I love supporting them by getting some really cool items and merchandise. B, I love donating stuff to them. Usually we donate a guest co-host spot for a future voice actor interview.
Yeah, cool.
And if you can find some way of having that be a prize at Pop Cult, we would love to extend that to you guys.
So it would be co-host.
It would be a guest co-host spot for a future voice actor interview. I've got a few people that I'm talking to, but don't have any voice actors lined up at the moment. Mm-hmm. But in the past, we've had people who have interviewed Josie McCoy from Genshin Impact, Megan Shipman, Caitlin French, I think was one that we had. From Anime-Zing, they got to interview Caitlin French. And it's basically like a 2-hour interview with an English voice actor.
That is actually a really cool opportunity. We'll have to speak about that more and see how we could make that work for our convention. Maybe, I don't know, we'd have to see like what it could be a prize for or something like that. But yeah, let's definitely chat about that. Oh, and speaking of prizes, while we're on that topic, I actually have the prize ribbons to share. We haven't actually officially shown these yet on the website, so not a lot of people have seen them. We have shared them on our cosplay chat, which we do occasionally on our staff or on the convention Discord. We have a cosplay chat where we all get in the Discord chat room and talk about, like cosplay tips and tricks and things like that. And people talk about, what they're working on. So we had one on the 10th, and I was able to show the prize ribbons to them. But I'd also love to share them with your audience. I have the ribbons for the anime, or I guess the music videos. They're not necessarily all anime, but the music
AMVs?
video the AMVs. Acronyms. I don't know why me and acronyms don't always get along.
I knew what you were talking about.
I don't know. So, all right. So I'll start with the AMV award. So this is sort of like the category award, right? So this particular one is Best Isekai. So this is our special theme category. As you can see, it's this cute little ribbon. We've got these nice little V's for video.
Yay!
And you can see
they're supporting our isekai habit.
So yes. So this would be the best music video in that particular category would get this, and we have like comedy, romance, so a bunch of different categories. And then we have this one is the coordinator's choice. So we have a slightly different little fancy, still the same V in the middle, and then you can see Pop Cult, the crown, and it's got the year and everything on it. And it's obviously a lot longer, a little bigger. So this is the coordinator's choice. So our lovely coordinators who run the show, if they particularly have a video that they like, they have their own special award they can give out. And then we have, this one is the best. So this is the best overall video that everyone liked. And as you can see, it's got the...
Those are really nice.
Yes. These are fun. We really like prize ribbons, not going to lie. They're affordable. I like them much better than trophies, and these are really easy to mail. So they're pretty light. They're, again, they're pretty, they're different. They've got all the information on them. They're affordable for us, and they're interesting. They're fun. You can hang them up on your trophy wall, and they look pretty. So so those ones are kind of the same every year. Now, the cosplay award ribbons is for the masquerade winners. They change up every year, and they've actually made me hold back because I would get even bigger. Because these are some seriously big ribbons, and I love them. I would literally get ones that are like this big. Like, you can get ginormous ribbons, but they're like keep it within reason. So I was like, oh, okay. So I'll start off. For our novice, we have two categories. We have craftsmanship and we have performance. And then from that, we have two levels. We have novice and advanced. And obviously, as we get bigger, we'll probably maybe make that, novice, journeyman, and then advanced. But for now, we're just novice and advanced. And we have, so this, as you can see.
Oh my God.
It is as big as my head. So this, and you can see how long it is. All the pretty ribbon. This is best craftsmanship for novice level, right? And this is the coloring is a little off on the camera, but it's very kind of minty, limey green. It's very pretty, as you can see. And it's got this pretty holographic ribbon to kind of give it this little shimmer. So we have two of these, one for craftsmanship and one for performance. And then in comparison, so again, this is novice. For comparison, the advanced has the special side ribbons. So you can see the two.
Oh, okay.
Side by side. So this is best advanced craftsmanship. So they're the same kind of colors, but we have novice and advanced. So, all right. So we have that. And then we have, so that's 4 awards, right? So we have 2 novice, 2 advanced. And then we have 2 special awards, which this is, so you can see the really shiny holographic ribbons.
That's really cool.
Isn't that pretty? This is the Mascot's Choice Award. So again, Mise on Wheels is our guest mascot judge. So this is the award she gives out every year. So this is one. And then we have one that's the same exact design, and that's Judge's Choice. So if there's a particular cosplay that the judges are like, maybe you don't fit in one of the other categories, but we just like you so much. We love the effort, you put in, we're going to give you one. And it's the same coloring as this one. So those are our 2 special awards. So that's 6 awards. And then the final award. And this one has it's just gorgeous. I absolutely love it. This is Best in Show. And as you can see, it is literally as big as my head. And it is just, this thing just keeps going. The ribbons are over 2 feet long. It is just, whoa. It's got this gorgeous rainbow colored ribbons in it, and it is just, as you can see, the rainbow color. It's got the beautiful side ribbons. Obviously, it's got Pop Cult Anime Con on there. With I will get the hang of this camera. Sorry, guys.
Oh, good. Hey,
So yeah, and you can see it's like best in show, and the ribbon has this beautiful little sparkle to it. With all the
wow.
details to it. So yeah, so it just turned out so beautiful this year. I've had several staffers going, I might need that. So
That's gorgeous. So good gosh.
it is beautiful. I just love it. So yeah, so this is our ribbon for our best in show. And while they're not a sponsor, I will give a shout out to Centaur Awards. They're the ribbon company that we get these from. They usually specialize in dog shows, horses, cat shows, stuff like that. But they also make ribbons for our costume contest and our music videos. So if you ever need a ribbon, I'd totally recommend them. But make sure you give like several months, because like last year we couldn't even get in. Like because of the COVID, they were so backed up. We actually had to go and use another company temporarily. But thankfully this year we got in early enough and we were able to get back to our beautiful ribbons. So I love them. I think they're unique. They're different. They're just as affordable, or more affordable, I think, in a way, than the trophies. And yeah, I don't know a lot of other conventions that give out ribbons versus like trophies. So
And those came out amazing.
they did. They're beautiful. Now keep in mind, I wanted even bigger ones. But these ones, they're like, no, they're as big as your head. And I'm like, they come bigger. You can get them literally like 12, 14 inches. The round parts. So you can get them. They, again, like the horse shows, the dog shows, like the kennel clubs and all that stuff, they go crazy with the ribbons. So their catalog
I've actually been to a
fantastic.
cat show.
Yeah, no, their catalog is filled with like all these gorgeous ribbons. And at some point we like do sashes, like the pageantry sashes, because they have those as well. So we'll probably continue to just go all out with the ribbons because they're just so much fun.
I have to get one of those sashes made that says Miss Nico and give it to Darren. I had to make sure you're still awake.
He's still there. So yeah, so the ribbons are great. We also will have some cash prizes as well. We don't have a whole lot, but so we'll give $50 to the best in show, and then we'll do $25 to everyone else. They may or may not get those as gold coins in a bag. So, and I may or may not have chocolate coins to give them as well. So,
and I think I want a sweet pot for the best in show for you as well. Something that we love doing with conventions. Best in show, and I will send you an email with all the information. But let's have the best in show be a featured guest here on Anime-Zing Radio.
That would be awesome. Yeah, no, you could do a show about costumes and what it takes to maybe compete. Because yeah,
absolutely. Because
it's a win-win for everybody. We get another amazing cosplay guest on the show, which we've had many cosplay guests in the past, and gives them a chance to have worldwide exposure. And we all, when we have cosplayers on, and especially with the video aspect that we've added, we recommend them to be in costume so they can show off their craft and people can enjoy seeing the work that they've done.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. Yeah, so send me that information and I will get it to our masquerade head so they can like make sure we have that information and we can then submit it to you so you can reach, because you'll obviously need their email and contact and what have you.
Yep.
So though I do want to switch topics really quick because John asked a question a while ago. He's like, what's your favorite isekai anime? And since isekai is our theme, I actually really like the time I got reincarnated as a slime. I think that's just kind of a cute, fun little show. So I really it's amusing. Though there's a lot of comics I read as well, usually the romance ones about like, oh, I got reincarnated in a fantasy novel or whatever. And I'm the villain. Like I like those. I'm the villain this time. So
have you seen the reincarnated as a vending machine anime that just started?
Oh my god, no.
I am watching it. And I will be totally upfront. The reason I decided to watch this was because I am expecting it to be absolutely terrible. After watching 2 episodes of it, I hate to admit that I'm kind of enjoying it. There is some creativity to it where the vending machine is able to, like they figured out how to give the vending machine life with like hit points or like certain amount of points. He can change what he sells using those points, but if he runs out of points, he dies. The way he gains more points is by selling the items.
What is this on Crunchyroll? I mean, Funimation.
Crunchyroll has
it is on Crunchyroll. Oh my god.
It has been, and like the girl who finds this vending machine figures out a way of communicating because there are vending machines in Japan that, they will talk, thank you very much, please insert coins, and she finds a way to communicate with this vending machine based off of what it says.
I hope it sells like food and snacks and
Yes.
not clothing items.
After 2 episodes, it has been food and snacks that can be found in Japan, not necessarily in the world he ends up in. And it is the story of an avid vending machine fanatic who, while riding home behind a truck carrying a vending machine, the straps break, the vending machine falls off, and he ends up falling to his death with this vending machine.
Oh my god.
And then becomes one. It's not, like I said, it sounds
almost
ridiculous.
Did they go too far? Did they go too far?
The title alone says to me, yes, they did.
But you also said the same thing about reincarnated as a sword, and that was actually really, really good.
I also just don't like the genre.
Oh, I know.
As a whole, but I feel like at this point, people who like isekai as a genre may very well enjoy the vending machine isekai.
Well, I mean, it's funny because when we were thinking about it, there's so much stuff is isekai, right? Like before isekai was even a term I think people were familiar with, because Inuyasha could be isekai, Alice in Wonderland, right? Like there's all kinds of stuff that is isekai, but I think they've just gone a little crazy when people are like being reincarnated as vending machines. They just took the genre and made a parody of it. I don't know. But there was one that I have not heard of this one either, that they got reincarnated as a sword. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
one.
And that one was actually really good as well, as much as I hate to admit it. Well, I can't really say I hate to admit it. It was a good show. It's getting a 2nd season as well.
We might need to make a list.
You know what else is?
And here's this little screen share from that show.
Oh my god.
Unrelated, guys. Did I remember to share with you guys that Gun Gale is getting a 2nd season? I know I'm in the minority here, but for those who enjoyed Sword Art Online, the Gun Gale spinoff is getting a 2nd season.
I did see that. Darren had shared that information, or was it you that shared it in the group chat?
That was me.
I think that was you, because
I think it was Darren, and you commented.
Yep.
I had noticed something was getting another season, but I don't think I'm not watching Sword Art or Sword Online. Is it Sword Art?
A lot of things are getting 2nd seasons.
What was one? something I had been watching was getting a second season. Oh, I think it was Goblin Slayer.
Yep.
I was like,
Slayer's so good.
I tried. I won't lie. I did try to watch it, and like 2 episodes, I'm like,
the
it
first
just isn't grabbing me.
the first episode is unusually brutal, and you think the whole of it's going to be like that, but actually it gets a lot tamer
It
after the
basically
first episode.
Goblin Slayer really does turn into a finding a D&D party.
Yeah, like that. But that first episode is rough.
That first episode was a lot.
Yeah.
I got past the first episode, that's why I gave it, multiple episodes to try, and I just still couldn't get into it. I feel bad because I was the one of the 3 of us that was like, I just can't get into this show. And this is the reincarnated as a sword that I was telling you about.
Oh my gosh.
HH.
I mean, Fran, the cat girl, is an adorable character. The sword has a mind of its own.
Of course. It's a
And
reincarnation.
chooses her to be his only wielder. And it was just really, really good. A really cute show. And I can't wait for season 2.
HH has come. HH, you are probably accurate. That does sound that I'd probably be more inclined to like
Right.
that description of stories here.
I was going to say, Ross Luck, I've heard of My Happy Marriage, and I actually want to look into it more because that might be something I'm interested in because I do like the light romance ones.
Current.
I have to say, you had plenty of choices last season and the season before.
But I have to be honest, I run an anime convention. I don't have a lot of time to watch TV.
Understandable.
I
Like,
run a business. I
yeah.
have no time.
Now, I
Yep.
kind of binge watch stuff in the winter when it's like the down season. So that's when I kind of like catch up. Like I just started watching Spy Family or Spy X Family, which is adorable, by the way.
It is.
But I'm, like,
one of the
way
few
behind.
shows- that's one of the few shows all 3 of us have agreed on. Like there's only 3 total.
Yep.
Oh no. Oh, well, I hope I'm going to like it.
And
If it starts.
everyone I know who has watched Spy Family has enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's either
I'm not-
they really enjoyed it or they didn't watch it.
and I wouldn't say it's dark. It's got
Oh, well, no, I'm reading Ross's comment about the Happy Marriage. So I was like,
okay.
I'm like, I hope I'm going to like it. I
Um,
kind of wanted to watch it.
And then John's asking if you've watched Fruits Basket.
Oh, I loved Fruits Basket.
Did you watch both of them, or did you watch the original only?
I watched. Well, I was reading the manga. To tell you the truth, I was reading the manga, and then I watched like when they did the first anime. But of course, it was only like the first season of it, I guess. And then I haven't watched the remake.
The remake is a
The
lot
remake
better because
that
they actually
follows
follow the
the-
story of the manga, and it gets a lot deeper. And it's not as much it's not as comedy heavy as the original is. You still have some of those comedy aspects, but it's a more serious tone to it, which I think made it 10 times better.
Yeah, no, the manga story was pretty serious. So, I mean, I'll have to look at. Can I find more time? I don't know.
I think that's what we all are running into.
Yep.
That's what happens when you become an adult and have to do adulting stuff.
Yeah, if only I didn't have to work 40 hours a week.
That's all.
Well, I have a regular 9-to-5 job, so
Same here.
thankfully that's working for somebody else, so I don't have to I just put in my time, and then of course Pop Cult takes up a lot of time as well. But thankfully, I work with a really great group of people. We actually are taking volunteer applications right now as well. If anyone's interested, that'll be up for a little longer. Where we're looking for, we actually call. I know usually people call them gophers, but I was like, I don't really like that name. We're gonna call you Ronin because you are a masterless samurai. That's who you are. You're not a gopher. You're a Ronin.
They call ours at Anime-Zing bees.
They're bees. They're busy bees. That's cute.
They're called AZBs. Yes, you start off as a bee, and then you eventually become a full-fledged staff member with perks.
So yeah, no, we tend to call our people that kind of just do whatever they need to do in different departments. Again, like I said, we call them Ronin because they are masterless samurai. Obviously, if they join a department, then I guess that would make them a samurai. I haven't thought about it that. So yeah, no, I work with a really great group of people. We've been having a lot of fun, obviously, with the comics this year and the isekai, and we're actually working on our um, scavenger hunt right now. So that's going to be kind of one of our other theming events is we do scavenger hunt. Last year actually was really fun because we were doing the retro summer block party. So we actually had decoder glasses on. In fact, I don't know if I have one around here because we actually had extra left over, so we'll be doing it again for anyone who wants to. There we go. Yeah, so we made these little puzzles.
Oh, that's cool.
And they had like little retro decoder glasses, and these like came off, and there was a puzzle. Oops, I have it upside down. So it was based off of obviously Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. It was like Where is Wacky, and we had like a whole little word search puzzle, and people went around and looked for clues and stuff and used the decoder glasses to like read the clues, and then once they filled out the whole card they would go to the info desk and get a prize. So we had a bunch of anime DVDs
Oh, I love when cons do that.
Yeah. So we have, so even though these were for last year, we have a lot of these left over, so we're going to let people use them up until they're gone, and then we'll have this year's themed scavenger hunt as well. So it probably, obviously we won't do the decoder glasses thing again, but we'll do something where people will like go around and find things. And then once
I was going to say, one of my favorite games that we did, and it was at Bakuretsu Con, they gave you a message that you had to decode, and all it was numbers.
Really?
And it was just, and the numbers were 2 through 0. And what you had to do was you had to think of the old phones with the letters under the numbers. So you had to figure out what the message was. So 2 could have been A, B, or C.
Mm.
And you had to figure out what the code was based off of that number pad to letter ratio. And they had like 4 or 5 different games that you had to do. That was one of the puzzles that you had to solve to move on to, it told you where to go to find your next clue. And much like your decoder, once you got to the final clue, you got a prize.
That's really cool. And what event was that at?
That was Bakuretsu Con up in Colchester, Vermont.
Oh, okay. So they used to do stuff like that. Yeah. No, we kind of started doing the scavenger hunt kind of about the same times as we started doing themes. When we started Pop Cult, I did kind of an overarching theme of it was the end of SummerCon, so it would always be like some kind of summer stuff. Mostly because, once you buy decorations, you want to be able to reuse them. So if it's always summertime, then even if we layer on a theme on top of that, at least we could reuse our decoration. So like, I think the first theme we ever did was our magical summer camp. So, right, it was magic, but it was summer camp, again, summer. Or like last year was supposed to be year 5. So we did, in celebration of our anniversary, we did a retro summer block party. So again, the theme was retro, but summer. So, and even this time we're doing the isekai. It's again set in summertime. They're going to like a fantasy island, with one of our characters and stuff. So again, summer, it helps because again, if you're buying decorations and stuff like that, you get the most value if you're can able to like reuse them and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely understand that. And like I said, it sounds like you have a lot of really, really cool stuff planned, and it makes me sad to know we can't that personally. I can't attend this year, but it has me excited and wanting to attend future cons when time and schedule will allow.
Yeah, no, totally. We've had in like before pandemic, we had some people like ask for press passes and stuff like that. Not a whole lot because again, we're a small convention, but I'd be more than happy to give out some press passes to have you guys come and like set up in the lobby and do, some streaming and stuff like that and interviews. You can do interviews with our cosplayers and things. So it could be a lot of fun. So I'd love to have you guys come. So I hope we can make it happen next year.
Hopefully, and even if I'm not able to, Angela has seen how I do the setup, and she may be able to do that next year if I'm unable to make it.
Next year, we can definitely chat, and provided I'm actually in the area, then yeah, I'll definitely come and do some live streaming and whatnot and set something up.
Yeah, no, we don't have obviously official dates yet, but we always try to book for the last weekend in August. We used to be the third weekend, but at this particular hotel, there's actually a salsa group. And as salsa as in dancing, not the food. But so there's like a salsa conference the weekend before us, which sounds like a lot of fun if you like dancing. And so that's why we can't, and I guess they're a regular occurring event. So that's why we can't get that particular weekend. So we always go for like the last weekend in August. So, and hopefully we won't bump up against any other major event going on. Because unfortunately, some of the bigger events like change their dates. Like I think Fan Expo Boston is coming up either this weekend or next weekend. And they have changed their dates. I think they're going back to June. And then I think another show moved their dates as well to August. But again, they're like Comic Con.
Boston Fan Expo for this year is August 4th, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so they're at the beginning of August. I think though they're moving to either June or July. That
is entirely possible. But I'm just on Facebook and checking things real time.
And on the subject of conventions, I have had a little bit of a change in schedule for my trip home. I'm only down here until basically the end of the month. On my way home, I'll be driving from Georgia to North Carolina to again spend a couple of nights at Darren's house, and it happens to fall on GalaxyCon Raleigh weekend. So it looks like that Saturday, Darren and I are going to go to our first convention together.
Yep.
That sounds interesting. What kind of genre convention is that?
It's SuperCon. It got rebranded as GalaxyCon, so this is everything.
So it's another general.
Yeah.
Some of the guests include people like William Shatner is going to be there. For Star Trek Next Generation fans, you've got Denise Crosby, Gage McFadden, who is Dr. Crusher, Brent Spiner, who is Data, Marina Sirtis, John DeLance, who is Q, and it jumps through. What was one of the ones that surprised me that was going to be there? Paula Abdul is going to be there on Saturday.
Paula, wow.
Mara Wilson, who I think she was in some Disney movies. Steve Burns from Blue's Clues is going to be a guest. Of course, Barry Boswick, who I met in a roundabout way. I only photobombed my wedding. Sarah
and I met because of you.
Yeah. Anime guests include Sarah Natacheni, the voice of Ash Ketchum. So, Darren, you will have a chance to meet her. Justin Briner, Kristen McGuire, Tara Platt, Yuri Lowenthal, Zach Aguilar, Abby Trott, Lucy Christian, Susie Young, Sarah Wiedenheft, Colin Klinkenbeard, Clifford Chapin, Jason Liebrick, Elizabeth Maxwell, and that's just to name a few.
Yep.
While we're on anime, John from the chat is asking if you've watched Hemlock, specifically if you watch any shonen anime like Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, etc.
Oh, Attack on Titan. I watched the first maybe 7 episodes, and then it got to a point where I'm like, I can stop this now because there's my other kitty, black kitty in the background. But yes, so I started to watch that, but I do not like people being eaten. It was very disturbing. So yeah, so I stopped Attack on Titan, and I will not watch that anymore. Much like I never watched more than the first season of Games of Thrones, because I was like, people are going to die. I don't want to watch that.
That
So
is fair.
I have seen some My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer. I started watching them, but ultimately they didn't. There goes my cat. They didn't quite catch me and pull me
Thank you. Thank you.
So I think I know what it is with My Hero Academia, though I probably could get back into it, is I'm not a high schooler anymore. It's not as appealing to me to watch high schoolers. They did have adult heroes in it as well. I don't know if they like have any storylines about the adults other than the main one.
I will say that they do.
Okay.
Not the main adult from the early seasons. Actually, they deep dive into his backstory, which is actually really cool.
Yeah. No, I'm not interested in the high schoolers anymore. I'm really not. I kind of like and I watched some of Demon Slayer, but again, the story didn't quite capture me as some other stories, and I usually like the anime like that, so I might have to pick up where I left off and see if I can't get back into them. But ultimately it comes down to I have very little time to watch anime anymore, and right now it's like the final push to get everything done for Pop Cult. So this is like the last marketing / event that I'm going to be able to do, and then between now and the convention it's just going to be my day job, and then working on Pop Cult and trying to just get everything done, because like I have to pack all the stuff up, make sure we've got everything we need.
At some point, sleep.
Sleep.
What is sleep?
I know,
Who needs
right?
sleep?
Yeah. So, and yeah, like tomorrow I've got almost like back-to-back meetings next week, because like we're doing something different we're not doing a program book this year. We're doing a brochure. So we've got a lot of stuff that we need to hash out with that. So I have like a meeting on that, and then of course Tuesdays are just office hours, which I get on and do hours for my staff. So anybody can get on and ask me questions. We have a big staff meeting coming up in a week or so. So yeah, it's just a lot of stuff to like get all the final details. Like everything is like we've been working on little bits and pieces here and there, and now everything's finally coming together pretty much in the last few weeks. So, and plus everything's ending. Like the hotel booking time is going to end on the 24th. So like if people haven't booked their room yet, they want to definitely get in on the hotel room rate. Obviously pre-reg will be running until like, I believe August 19th. So people still have an opportunity to take advantage of the discount on the ticket sales. Panels is closed, but Masquerade is still open. We definitely could use some performance skits. So if people would like to join the Masquerade and do performance, we have slots open for that. I know for sure. Definitely, I believe the craftsmanship though is pretty much full up at this point. So AMVs was closing soon. So, if you're doing anime music videos, you definitely want to get that in right away. So yeah, everything, it's just now is the time, just everything's coming together. And then right now, then it's scheduling. We're going to put together the schedule. because we've had all these great fan submissions, and of course, we have our featured panelists, we have our cosplay guests, Matt, who's our musical guest, and so it's time to just like get everything in on the schedule. So I probably won't be able to watch any anime until September.
Totally understandable on that, especially with, I know that it's not an easy job putting together one of these events, and hats off to you for having done this for so long and having an ever growing, and from the sounds of it, obviously I haven't been there, so I can't say from experience, but it sounds like it's going to be another amazing event that you're putting on this year, and I wish you the best of luck with everything.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it is rewarding. It is a lot of work. And then, of course, kind of like as the captain of the ship, I have to make sure everybody's doing their part or on the teamwork, But it is a lot of fun. It's really rewarding. And, I like being at the convention and seeing everybody having a good time. I like getting the feedback afterwards from people telling me, like, I really enjoyed this. I even don't mind getting the bad feedback where people are like, you could fix this. Because again, we're always looking to improve and stuff like that. So it is a lot of fun. And I've been meaning to listen to it, though I haven't had time yet. You guys were also involved with the convention not too long ago as well, right?
Vermont, the Rail City Fan Fest up in Vermont we were at, and we had a lot of fun up there. Christy Rothrock, we were able to fly her in as a guest for the convention. She had a blast. Got an email from her earlier this week thanking me for being able to bring her out to Vermont, her first time in New England, first time getting to a smaller convention that size and getting to experience some amazing things. She was able to accomplish some childhood dreams, she said. Being a frequent visitor to a lot of native New England cons, have you been able to meet Bill Diamond?
Bill
Diamond? He's a puppeteer.
Oh, shoot. I know they had some of the puppeteers at AAC at one point, but his name, I'm afraid, doesn't ring a bell, so probably not.
He has worked with Jim Henson. He created some of the Fraggles for Fraggle Rock, Gizmo from the Gremlins, Audrey the Man-Eating Plant, which Christy named her car after, E.T., who Angela got a picture with, and it was the actual E.T. from the movie on the bike.
So that's great. So he was at the convention, or?
Yep. Yeah, he was one of the... they don't really have guests per se, but he was one of the most... Him and Christy were probably the two biggest celebrities at Rail City this year.
That's awesome. So did it go... I mean, was it a big crowd? Did you guys have good sales, or?
From my wife had a table selling her art, and she was able to make table money back. Christy had a decent amount of traffic. It was a second year con, so being a small con yourself, a lot of times, like, he knew he would not have the money to bring a guest to a convention himself, which is why I wanted to do it based off of last year. Him and his staff impressed me to the point that I chose his con to live out probably a good 6-year dream of being able to provide a voice acting guest to a convention. And fortunately, everything happened to work out where we were able to get Christy out there, and all that amongst planning a move, coming to Georgia for training. I mean, I know what it's like not having a second to breathe, or like I haven't really done anything for myself mental health wise since February. So that's kind of what the Galaxy Con is going to be, a little bit of a self-treat for getting through training and graduating and going to do more on-the-job training and being an official conductor trainee.
So, well, that's great. I actually would like to go to more conventions myself. So AAC or another anime con kind of is my treat con, because that's, even though we do have a table there to market, my friends and I usually hang out and get to like socialize and stuff at that convention too. So it sounds like you'll have a great time hanging out with Darren, even though he's dead.
And I had to laugh because you always hear Darren talk about his dakimakras. Of course, I went out to spend the night driving down here, and before I got there, Darren's mom had put them in the laundry, so I didn't even get a chance to see them. I got to see all the other figures and everything else, and we had a care package that we brought down to Darren, and Darren was able to give me the gift of an autograph, which I do have nice and safely kept in my laptop bag. Because he got to meet Bryn April, who we had as a guest early on in her career.
Oh, wow, that's cute.
And so when Darren got to meet her, I asked him to get her autograph for me. So she kind of fangirled when she got to meet him and was excited to know that I was finally getting my Cyan autograph. Especially considering the fact that Bryn is the voice actor that I chose her name to be my daughter's middle name.
Aw. You also have a turtle like lurking in the background.
That is from Bo Fury. And I mentioned earlier before you came on, in the craziness of packing enough clothes for like a week, 2 weeks, because I'm down here for 3 weeks in a hotel, I just grabbed stuff, threw it in a suitcase. While also packing to move, I had syrup, and I also have Gigi that got thrown into my suitcase. So I'm down here for training for, and I showed them earlier, but this is actual, like, this is what I wear for school, Norfolk Southern reflective gear and everything. So I'm down here for that, but like today I went into the training facility for, that closed on the weekends, but still I need to study, train, try to figure everything else out. And I walk in there, train to learn, train to work with trains. And of course I walk in there with this hat, this shirt.
Oh.
Of course you pick Kill La Kill.
It just happened to be the one that I had grabbed. Like I said, yesterday I went in there with Mocha from Rosario Vampire shirt. So they know I'm an anime nerd.
That's
in
funny.
fact, I think at least half of my class watches anime.
That's great. You should tell them to go to anime conventions.
Oh, so some of them do, and I've told some of them that there's a chance of me stopping off at an anime convention on the way home.
That's so funny. Which,
after talking with the wife, and she's like highly pushing me to go, especially considering some of the guests that are there. It's like, I'm going to treat myself, and a little reward for graduating and getting out of there on Thursday instead of Friday when everybody has to do makeup tests.
Well,
it's so funny because you said makeup tests, and my first thing went to cosplay makeup, and then I was like, wait, no, he's talking about actual like schoolwork makeup tests.
We're still hoping you don't have to do any makeup exams, Doug.
Yeah.
And according to Ross, you're on Rail Wars.
I'm officially living Rail Wars now. Just without the etchy part.
Oh my goodness. Aww. No, it's funny that you're wearing the Kill la Kill shirt. I actually, again, the last convention I was just at was at PortCon, Maine, and I actually hauled out my Satsuki cosplay for that, and I was like, oh, it still fits.
So which one was she?
She's the student council president.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carrie Carradin's character. Okay.
Yeah. But because it was so hot and rainy, I'm like, I'm not putting on the boots. I wore my blue rain boots instead. So I was like, whatever. It's,
That's who I thought it was. Because when he said, I'm like, wait, I know that character. Is that
I also probably
on.
said her name wrong. My Japanese, I can't even. Like I try. I really do try. And then at a certain point, I give up.
And I have to laugh because her English voice actress, Carrie Carradin, had one of the most interesting panels I've ever seen at an anime convention.
What did she talk about?
She led a whole panel of meditation on a Sunday of how to relax yourself, try to ground yourself so that post-con depression doesn't hit as hard, and stuff that she does to help maintain you know grounding herself, so to speak.
That is interesting. I don't think I've ever heard
I,
of a
and it was
panelist doing that, or at
it
least a
was
voice actor panelist.
yeah, she did that at Anime, and it was one of her first time ever doing that panel, and it was a unit when she asked, do you guys think I should do this more? Everybody in that room said yes. Because a lot of us, and myself included, had never meditated before. I didn't even know how to get into that state. And she's like, oh, just do this and this. And I'm like, oh my God, this is kind of neat.
That is interesting. Yeah, because I mean, sometimes like a lot of the fans, they just want to talk about, what's it like to be a voice actor and process and stuff like that. But it's like these people are usually more than just voice actors, right? They like have other interests and hobbies and knowledge to share. So it was nice that she was able to share a different aspect with everybody. So
she did that. Tia Ballard has done a panel on being creative, whether it's with art or music or things of that nature. So not just voice acting. Sarah Wiedenheft is also an artist, and she's done panels on artwork and stuff like that. So it is really cool when they allow the voice actors at these conventions to do panels on stuff outside of, hey, I voice these characters. It's another thing that I have fun with on the show here is when we bring them on, we try to get, our fans to get to know more about the voice actors themselves, not just characters X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. No, and sometimes people who've been going around to lots of different shows, they have like a lot of fun stories to share, but some of the voice actors are newer. So you can only talk about the industry so much. And at a certain point, you're like, let's talk about something else. But that's great.
And I love finding the newer voice actors. That's one thing that we've been good at over the history of AZR is, I think we have between 15 and 20 voice actors where we were their first official radio interview.
That's great. Yeah, no, it becomes more difficult because, and I don't actually agree with this, but a lot of anime conventions have gotten to the point where they can't, I guess they can't afford the fees for some of the bigger voice actors. So they literally like went to, instead of free autographs, they went to doing the Comic-Con route where people pay for autographs. And I'm actually kind of sad about that because it was for a long time, you could go to an anime con and you could meet people and, get an autograph as just the price of your ticket and not have to pay extra for an autograph, but now they're going the route of the Comic-Cons where they're just bringing in these guests and then they sit in rows and tables and you have to pay extra to like get something autographed or meet them or something. And it's kind of sad to me that people are losing out on one of the more affordable ways to like meet people that are, in the community or industry, that they're fans of. I mean, I guess it's one of those things where people would used to just come, like you would just pay their, flight and feed them and get their hotel room and they'd just come, right? And then they wanted appearance fees, and now it's the appearance fees are so high that they can't do it, and they have to like just let them come and sign autographs for money. And then again, it makes me a little sad that it's getting to that point.
And it's one of those double-edged swords because I know, like, especially talking with Christy, she loves the fans that she gets to meet. And if it wasn't for the fact that cost of living is ridiculous in the world, especially where she just moved to LA, so things are even more outrageous out there than Oklahoma. So, that she doesn't charge as much as some other voice actors do for autographs and stuff, but I can understand where they only, I don't want to get into the big, actor strike thing that's going on now, but excuse me.
But that is going to affect.
Oh.
No, but the strike, the actor strike, is going to affect some of the Comic Cons, at least for the back end of this year, until that's resolved.
Yeah, I noticed some places were like making official announcements about that and stuff like that. But
San Diego Comic Con seems to be, at least from what I'm seeing, the event that is largely affected. Fan Expo's kind of right now posting officially. I use that loosely because it's Facebook, so who knows? But they're saying that nothing is changing from their schedule as of now.
yeah, I think it said in the strike paperwork or something that if they were attending a fan event, it was fine so long as it wasn't part of like an industry, like with a
My understanding was if they were promoting a specific thing, that violated the strike agreement.
yeah. But if they were just attending a fan event just because I'm an awesome actor and I've been in a bunch of stuff, like I don't think that was in violation. So
No, and from what I saw, some of the voice actors posting is that work for like anime, dubbing, video games, stuff like that, audiobooks, commercials, that's not affected by this strike.
Of course not, because their scripts and everything are already.
But
Well,
it's gonna
they're-
be it's very much gonna be a wait and see what happens.
yeah, and they need to do it now because as AI is not that great right now.
I wasn't gonna bring this up, but since somebody else brought up AI, one of the things I saw in conjunction with this was one of the things was what they wanted to do was take the extras, pay them for 1 day of work, and then basically do an AI likeness and basically use that ad nauseum without permission, without compensation, no nothing.
Yeah, that's why they need to do the strike
And
now.
that
That's not right.
Exactly.
That's extortion. And the thing is, like, they might agree to be in one thing, but what if they want to use them, like that in some other production that maybe they morally don't agree with, right?
And
Like,
that's
no.
And for some of those actors, that's their way of breaking into the industry.
As being an extra, yeah. No, they need to fight for this. The writers, the actors, because again, if the studios could get away with it, they will, because they're like, I'll save money.
Because they'll cut every bloody corner they can
to get themselves richer. Of course they will.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see certain projects that get produced with scrupulous morals, and I'm not going to say more than that because that is a personal. I'm bordering on things I shouldn't say, so I'm going to leave it broadly generalized. But we're seeing a lot of moral gray from the studios.
Yeah.
And it's becoming less and less okay.
And we're seeing more occurrences of people in the entertainment industries, whether they're voice actors, TV, screen, commercials, that have to work 2-3 jobs just to be able to afford to live because they cannot make a living just off of acting alone.
And for voice acting specifically, anyone who missed it, the show we did back towards the end of last year with Sean Chiplock, this issue came up in a very different context, and he actually answered some questions and went into some numbers of the cost of living in Los Angeles. I believe it's Los Angeles.
Yeah, just outside of LA. He had bought a house recently, and he broke down.
He went into what union voice actors get paid, non-union voice actors get paid, just the cost of living, and it was very, very eye-opening. If you haven't checked that out, you can go back and watch that.
Yeah, no, I mean, the cost of living has gone up like everywhere, and I know LA's the worst as well. And I certainly I'm not against, like actors and whatnot making money and stuff, but still, again, a part of me, kind of wishes that it could be accessible to everyone, or at least a little bit accessible, because not everyone's going to have like, I'd love to have a picture with Tom Hiddleston. Was I going to pay $1,000 for it? That I can't remember which convention he was at last year, well, pre-pandemic, which conventions he was at, but I'm like, as much as I would have loved, to have that fan moment with him, because I really identify with Loki as a character, not just in the Marvel movies, but in the comics as well. Like, I didn't have an extra $1,000. So, at a certain point, it's like I kind of still wish that there were affordable options. And to a point, anime cons were that affordable option where you could just pay the ticket, and not everyone could, get a free autograph, but you had a better opportunity to get the autographs. And now it just seems to be going towards the way of like, you're just going to have to pay no matter what.
I mean,
And
even Anime Boston for a time, I think even up to last year, you could still go, and if you got up early, you could get a ticket to get a free autograph from certain voice actors, like 2 per day, and outside of the times designated for those who got the tickets for the free ones, you had to pay, but you still had the option. This year, there was no free option.
yeah, and again, that's kind of seems to be the way things are going, which. Yeah, and again, like I said, I certainly understand people need to, be paid well and earn a living, but at a certain point too, it's like some people just miss out, because you're already paying a high price to even get to the event, and then you have to pay even more money to either get the photo opportunity or to get them to just autograph something. And it's funny too, because the older I get, I'm kind of like, I'm not sure how I feel about autographs anymore. I much rather have a photo. Like, I'd much rather be like, oh, I met this person, and here's here's the photographic proof, right? Because you can buy autographs on the secondhand market. And even if they're like made out to you, I still think like a photo opportunity is really cool. So I'm glad that you have those kind of opportunities at like Comic Cons and stuff like that. But yeah, it changes.
I also feel that some of the actors way overcharge. And there are like some up and comings, and one thing that I was impressed looking at some of the prices of the guests at GalaxyCon, Abby Trott is only charging per the website $20 for an autograph, which I think is very reasonable when you have people that are charging $80 and higher for a signature.
Yeah. And I don't know if they do that because they think people, I hadn't realized this, but I guess Funko dealers will come and have them like sign the Funko boxes, the Funko Pops, and then like turn around and sell them for an up price.
And so they have special prices for Funkos.
Yeah, because they are like, oh, you're just going to flip this, so why bother, right? Or I'm going to charge you extra, which is kind of like, if you're, again, I prefer if you're going to go an autograph, limit it to one. So at least you'd be like, you get an autograph for yourself because you're a fan, and not because you're a dealer and you're going to like get 20 posters signed and then turn around and flip them.
And then there's website, and for that, you turn around and there's websites like Cameo, where people can pay for that stuff, and that's perfectly fine.
Is that the website where, I know there's a website that you can literally go and you can hire actual actors and stuff to like do like calls and things like that? Is that Cameo, or is that?
It's basically Cameo is a website. A lot of celebrities are on there, and based on the level of celebrity, the prices range based on the level of celebrity. But they do a pre-recorded message. They basically record something for the purchaser, and it could be anything from happy birthday or
Congratulations or something.
Congratulations or whatever.
Yeah. or do like your voice answering machine, like, hey, you've reached the phone of.
If you tell them to do that, they'll probably do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, see, something like that, like if I could think of a way, like that would be really cool. Like that, I would see paying money for it because
for
it's
like for a YouTuber we follow, we paid the $50-$60 to have him do a happy birthday greeting for my husband a couple of years back.
aw, that's great. Yeah, no, see something like that, like where it's gonna have meaning for a fan and it's reasonable priced or something that you can
Like
save up for.
We looked up a couple of different ones, and one of these celebrities my husband likes, we looked at the price and it was well outside of our price range, and it's just like, on the one hand, it's their way of making money.
Yeah,
especially and given that this started really taking off during pandemic.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because at a certain point too, it's got to be worth their while. Like if you're an A-list actor and you're looking to make like a little extra money between movie roles, yes, but you also don't want to charge so low that you're inundated with requests, right? So you got to like find that balance,
right?
You know.
And the YouTube lower tier celebrities, if you will, have much lower rates than a Hollywood actor.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
It does. And again, like I said, I can see somebody, like a big tier actor, like Lord knows what William Shatner's prices are or something like that. If you want
to give me a second, I can look that up.
But yeah, no, it's also in a way you kind of wish too that they would just get paid a fair wage so that they maybe could offer discounts to their fans on certain things, but also some actors use this as a way to make a lot of money.
$120 for William Shatner's autograph at GalaxyCon.
Wow.
No, thank you.
Well, he's got it. Didn't they send him to space? He's probably going to try to pay for that ticket, right? Or did they send him for free?
I mean, he was Captain Picard.
William Shatner?
Yeah.
He was Captain Kirk.
No, he was Captain Kirk.
Ooh.
Captain Kirk.
Picard was Patrick Stewart, Doug.
I know. I
was actually
mixed up. I was just like looking at all the Next Generation guests that are going to be there. LeVar Burton's also going to be there.
LeVar. Oh, God. How much for LeVar? Like, is he doing photo ops? Like, that is a man I respect because Reading Rainbow has a special place in my heart.
Autograph from LeVar is $60, which isn't bad. Table selfie is $50. Autograph table selfie combo is $100.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be money well spent for LeVar. I'm sorry.
Professional photo op is $70.
Yeah, that's $70. Yep. For LeVar Burton. Yeah.
Like you said, reading Rainbow, and I saw people talk about that they would never read books anymore because LeVar Burton was on Reading Rainbow and now he's on Next Generation Blind. It's like, that's acting.
Reading Rainbow was my childhood, but
I got involved with it. I remember when he did the Kickstarter so he could do his reading initiative. All that program, I was involved. That was like the first Kickstarter I ever got involved with. I still have like the t-shirt and all the stuff that I got through that. But yeah, no, wow. It was like, I even remember, I know he got like his first big thing was like Kuta Kente in that show, which I can remember the name of the character and I cannot. Roots. I don't know why I couldn't think of the show.
Yep.
But then again, I was too young for that. But Reading Rainbow, obviously, and then of course I was right when he got into Next Gen. That was like that was I'm more connected, even though I've seen a lot of the original Star Trek. First gen,
Next Gen was the big one for me.
Or Next Gen. So obviously my captain is Captain Picard. So.
On that note, we are just about out of time. But before we say goodbye, of course, we want to give you a chance to promote Pop Cult, anywhere people can find you on social media, the dates of the convention, how they can reach out. The floor is yours.
Excellent. Thank you. So again, thank you for having me back. I do appreciate that. Even technical difficulties aside. So Pop Cult Anime Con is August 25th through the 27th. You can find us, first of all, go to our website. That's got everything, which is popcultanimecon.com. Though obviously if you just search Pop Cult Anime in the Google, you will find us. We just posted a bunch of information too about, Artist Cafe, the cosplay frame and everything is up there. But we are on most social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram. We put up a lot of photos on Instagram as well as further information. We have a TikTok, little bit of stuff on YouTube from previous conventions. So yes, please check us out. The ticket prices right now are still only $45 for the whole weekend, and that does include the bonus hours on Friday, including our opening ceremony / welcome dance and the roast of Matt McKenna, if you're into that. Again, please check us out. We're Small Con, Waltham, Massachusetts, in the beautiful Waltham Weston. We still have hotel rooms available, but the convention block ends on July 24th. So if you do want to stay at the hotel with us, you want to hurry up and book your hotel. And again, pre-reg actually helps us out a lot as well, though you can, of course, buy your tickets at the door. The price usually only goes up about $5. So, but get yourself a $5 discount and pre-reg, please. So, and I think that's pretty much it for us. It's just nose to the grindstone until August. So, and I'm looking forward to, seeing everybody and doing a lot of fun things with people, including blanket fort building.
Awesome. Next week, we do not have a guest lined up just yet, but I am working on trying to find a great guest to come and join us here on the show. Due to my training schedule, I will be able to make the shows for next Sunday and the last Sunday of the month. The last Sunday of the month, we've got a treat for you. It's going to be a viewer discretion is advised type of show because of our guests. Angela got to meet them firsthand. We are going to have the guys with Token with the Dead are going to be joining us. Things are going to get wild and crazy. You don't want to miss that because these guys, if you've seen our shows with Angela Coelho, our
Julia Coelho.
Julia Coelho. Good God, it's late.
Or Jay Moulton is another one.
Or Jay Moulton. It's like that, but worse.
Hence minimal filters. So,
anything could be said, and Darren may be scarred after that show.
He's dead.
You can try, but I doubt it.
But given certain things, we do give that warning because that may very well just be
we derail hard on that show.
Yep.
But until next week,
we derail hard on every show.
Yeah, but that's true. I can't argue that.
No, we stayed on topic today. We stayed pretty much on topic.
But until next time.
Until next time, this has been Anime-Zing Radio right here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you again next time.
Good night, everybody.